Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake. It's me, and today is March 23rd, 2024. And thanks for hanging with me. If you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe, and then make sure you check me out on all the different social medias. And then head on over to podcast.hellocupcakeitsme.com to check out the podcast that is updated every Thursday. And then go give hellocupcakeitsme.com some love. And also check out cdsthebook.com for information about my upcoming book. So let's get right into it, shall we? First and foremost, I am using a new microphone system. And it's one of those TikTok made me buy it situations. And it is a USB-C lavalier microphone. So right here's my microphone, and really freaking awesome. And you know, guys, I only paid like $4 for this, and well worth the price. So this is my second time using it. I did a product review video on it. And I thought, you know what? Instead of hooking up my Blue Yeti Snowball or the Blue Yeti Nano, like I usually use, that I was going to try using the lavalier microphone. And I think that I'm going to be using this quite a bit, especially when it comes to doing the podcast, because it does have the two microphones, and I would be able to just sit there and not have to worry about an audio splitter or any of that other stuff, and just kind of, sorry about that, just, sit there and talk like we are. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. And so in book-related news, I may be appearing on a couple of people's podcasts, and I'm kind of excited about that, being interviewed and talking about like my my book, my own personal mental health journey and stuff like that. We have our first community gathering happening on May 4th, which just tickles the hell out of me. And I wasn't even really thinking about it at the time. But that's like a Star Wars holiday, like May the 4th be with you. So I was like, yes, this is meant to be. I've also added some new sections to the webpage, so if you haven't been there in a while, go check it out. Again, the website is cdsthebook.com. And I've been experiencing like some depression lately, especially leading up to my birthday. And then what was it, like Tuesday or Wednesday, I started having some really hardcore, like, what if type depression. And I fucking hate, 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 hate that. Like, cause there's nothing you can do, but your brain is just sitting there, like, making you sad. And you're thinking about, like, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? Well, if this happens, then what if, then this might happen. And if that happens, then this is going to happen. And it just becomes a snowball effect, and there's just no way to stop it. And it's like, really, brain, you're hurting your own feelings right now. Like, instead of releasing dopamine and like good things, you are literally just sitting there harming yourself. So, anyways, thankfully, I have somewhat gotten over that. I mean, there's still a lot of the what ifs are there, but it's not as bad. And I do that to myself quite a bit where I have to like just chew the flavor out of something. Like the day that I'm experiencing like the most depression or whatever, I just gotta sit there and let myself feel it. So yeah, it's been bad, but you know, I don't I don't know what it is. Like leading up to my birthday, I've come to the conclusion that it's the depression that I feel is birthday blues, which is an actual medical mental health thing where some people are either hyper elated that it's their birthday or they become very melancholy and like just about the fact that it's their birthday. And I'm that when I was little, my birthday was like a second holiday for me. Like it was like a second Christmas type thing because I was celebrated and I was having fun with my friends and I got presents and stuff that like if my family wasn't able to get it for me when it was Christmas, they would give it to me for my birthday. So it was like always kind of a big deal. And in my family, we even had like um, a spare a special character just for birthdays called the birthday frog because my birthday's in March and all the frogs would like start to hatch and come alive like right around that time period. So, every year the birthday frog would come and bring me presents, and it was just a really fun little thing. And so, I as I got older, I really did miss that. But now that I don't see it as the ticking down of my mortality or anything like that. It's just I get hyper depressed. But yeah. So anyways, last night I went out with my friend and we just went out and had a good time. We went to the Dollar Tree and somehow I got exactly $19.99 worth of stuff. I don't even know how that was probable, but I had exactly $20 that I could utilize picking stuff up that I needed and wanted from the Dollar Tree. Like I've needed it and wanted to go to it for so long. I was finally able to get there, and it was like when the cashier told me that it was $19.99, I was just like, that's freaking hilarious. Like there were so many connotations with that particular number that it just tickled me to know that it was exactly I was getting a penny back. I was just like, okay. So yeah, it was a really good night last night. And prior to that I got to hang out with my friends' grandkids, and I babysat them for probably about 15-20 minutes while my friend had to run into town to go get one of her other grandkids and take them somewhere. And the the children's father wasn't home yet, and I was like, you know what? I'll just sit here with the kids. Like, go ahead and go. And she's like, oh my God, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, it's not a problem. It's not my first time babysitting kids. I'm like, you know, I can do this, not a problem. So, and it was kind of fun. I turned on Fairly Odd Parents, and we were watching the Fairly Odd Parents and singing and dancing around to that, and um, just yesterday was just good, you know. Um, the the kids reminded me of back when I was raising up my niece with my sister, and just like how fun they can be at that age, and listening to one of the grandchildren talk about their day at school, and the other grandchild like just completely tearing up the house and just going complete ham on the house. And I'm like, hey, you know, mommy and daddy wouldn't like you if you did that, you know, so let's not do this. And okay, okay, okay. Well, come on, come sit down. Let's watch cartoons. Here's a toy you can play with while we're watching cartoons. Oh, what that? What that? You know, baby talk. And then you have the older grandchild that's like, blah, 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 blah. But it's nice because, you know, like I said, it was very nostalgic for me, and like was something that my soul and my heart needed, was just to be around innocence and like listening to the drama, as one of the grandchildren put it, of their world. And it's like, oh God, I would love to have that kind of problems. Like, as adults, we forget how difficult school is and was, because, you know, we're so wrapped up in our day-to-day bullshit and our day-to-day drama that we lose connection with our childhood selves. We lose connection with what it was like to be a kid. And I think it's a real disservice that we do to ourselves, you know, that we allow ourselves to become so engrossed in our adult affairs, with like going to work, worrying about the bills, worrying about this, worrying about that, da, 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 like, but in all reality, life is just simple and for the most part easy. Like, yeah, we have stress at work, but you know, that stress doesn't need to be who we are. We don't need to bring that stress home and let it pollute our lives when we're not on the punch clock, you know? So it was just kind of a like spiritual moment for me, where I was just like, you know, yeah, I remember when this happened to me in school. I remember when that happened to me in school. And I kept reiterating the fact that um the kid was not like, because they were telling me that they were being bullied and stuff like that, and I said, you know what, I completely understand. I said, the person you see today is not the person that was in school. And I said, you know, I was bullied all the time, but my bullying also came from some of the teachers as well as the kids. So, you know, if I had 3 or 4 teachers who just did not like me, and so if the rest of the kids were going in on me, they wouldn't stop them. And it was just like, so alienating and so like just wrong, and feeling like, well, if the teacher is saying this and the kids are saying this, it must be true. Not realizing that, duh, they don't live my life. They don't know shit about me outside of my academic life. And, there's so much I wish that I could go back and tell younger me, because there was a time that I was self-harming, but we didn't have the vocabulary for that back then. We didn't have the infrastructure for zero tolerance bullying, zero tolerance whatever within schools. It was always just, um, you know, like the Wild West. Teachers and stuff were able to do pretty much whatever they wanted, and there was very little to no consequence. And, anyways, I'm not going to continue on with that because it's starting to dredge up bad memories, and I'm about ready to start getting very animated and upset and just like about it. So, anyways, talking about animation though, if you have ever watched the Uncanny X-Men, like the X-Men cartoon show that played after school, Disney Plus just released X-Men 97, which is everything. Everything. I'm telling you guys, it is everything. Like, they seriously stepped up the game and showed they showed the X-Men as powerful as they should have been back in the 90s. But Storm was portrayed at her fullest godlike power, where in the 90s, a little grain of sand was like flicked at her and she'd be like, and pass out or whatever. But in X-Men 97, she's just like this strong, beautiful, powerful black goddess with like, I don't like the fact that they gave her the mohawk haircut, which is in tune with the comic books, but just showed who she was instead of this little kind of like shy, frail creature almost, as what they did in the Uncanny X-Men. Like, they showed her to be the true powerful goddess that she is. Without giving too much away, they have included Morph and Bishop as part of the main X-Men team. Now, they haven't really said why Bishop is there yet, and I don't remember enough of the 90s cartoons. So I'm going to have to go back through and rewatch at least the last the last season or two of that show. But, I would love to be able to see Rogue, or not Rogue, but anyways, I would just like to be able to see more of that nostalgia and the powers, like Phoenix. That's who I was trying to think of. Like Jean Grey, like actually tapping back into the Phoenix Force and like really kicking ass. But they made mention of the Phoenix Force, like that was something that was in her past or whatever. Like she made mention as she was holding up the Phoenix costume. She's like, I was inhabited by this extraterrestrial force that was hell-bent on destroying the universe, and there was Scott standing next to me the whole time, not a question in his mind about like protecting the woman he loves. And it was just like, yeah. So definitely give that a watch. If cartoons and anime are not your thing, I highly recommend Shogun. Shogun is an amazing series so far. We're like 8 episodes in, and very, very well done. And it's nowhere near like the David Carradine Shogun of like the 70s and 80s. This is more of a historical telling of like the Portuguese and the English, like trying to establish dominance in Japan while Japan is going through its samurai feudal lord era with like in the I think it takes place in the 1600s or something like that. So very interesting, very good, amazing dynamic acting. And a lot of it is subtitled, so you have to listen to it. And I'm one of those people, I fucking hate subtitles, but for whatever reason, this show is not bothering me with a subtitle of it. So, I would recommend Shogun to anyone who's looking for a new thing to watch. I also recommend, if you liked The Walking Dead or you want to get into The Walking Dead, to watch the Walking Dead TV series, which is on Netflix. And then after you are done with that, then watch the new Walking Dead. It's called The Walking Dead, Those Who Live. And that's really good too. Like, I was never a Walking Dead fan, like when it was first on, and I was just like, nah, whatever. It's a zombie movie. I don't give a damn about zombies. Like, the zombie trope is not one of those things that like entertains me as a media consumer. Now, if it was about witches or vampires, yeah, I'm right there. But vampires also, depending on how they portray them, because there's like 5,000 different types of vampires that Hollywood likes to utilize. My idea of a good vampire story, or like a good vampire type character, is, and as cliche and as much hate as I'm probably going to get for this, like Twilight. And I love Twilight movies. People always shit all over the Twilight movies and talk about how horrible the acting was or whatever. But for me, I watch more. When I'm watching a movie, I watch more than the characters. Like, I get enveloped in their world. And because I live in Washington, near Forks and stuff like that, I know the areas she's talking about in the book and in the movies. And that whole, like, just everything about it, like, I understand, and I'm just like, I'm like the Little Mermaid. I'm like, I want to be part of your world, So, but like, that aspect of vampires and vampirism, where they each have individual gifts and abilities, and it's more focused on the life of the vampire versus the stalking you in the shadows vampire that's evil and bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the evil bad vampires also, but I like Twilight, and I like Blade, and I like Underworld, and I like Interview with a Vampire. Like, so those types of vampire movies, that's what I'm about. That's like my genre that I love. Nosferatu, you know, it's a good movie for what it is, or for what it was, even though, Nosferatu was the very first vampire movie and all that other stuff, and I've seen it several different times. Um, it was just one of those, like, this isn't the vampire that I like, but I appreciate it because this was the movie that had to crawl so that others could walk, and so that even more could run. So, yeah. And I'm really excited for the next few upcoming movies. So on let's see. So, last night, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire came out, and I'm really looking forward to being able to see that. Next weekend is Godzilla X Kong, and I am a huge Godzilla fan. I am like waiting with bated breath for Godzilla -1 to actually like get released to Blu-ray, DVD, whatever it's going to be released on, so that I can watch that. I have watched pretty much every single Godzilla movie since the 1950 Godzilla movie. And what else am I waiting on? Oh, July 26th, I am excited for the Deadpool 3 movie, where Hugh Jackman Wolverine is going to be in there. We are finally getting Beetlejuice 2 on September 6th, after how many decades? Like, I'm not too, like, I'm not expecting much from this, to be honest. Michael Keaton is revising his role as the ghost with the most, and Winona Ryder will be there, and the I can't remember her name right off the top of my head, but Lydia's mom will be there, and they're introducing Jen Ortega as Lydia's daughter, I believe. So that looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. Also, Wicked, the Broadway musical about the witches of Oz, that is getting its own movie, so I'm really excited about seeing that. And Alien Romulus is coming out on August 16th, I believe it is. And I love the Alien franchise, and I love how they've tied Alien, Predator, and Prometheus all together. And it's all part of the same world. So now, that just kind of opens up the story arc a little bit. So, anyways, yeah, that's what I'm excited for in the geek universe. So, what's your favorite movie? What is it that you like to watch, and what is it that you like to that you are like excited for? Let me know in the questions, comments, and concerns down below. And yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them down below. If you need to get a hold of me, you can shoot me an email, hellocupcakeitsme at gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on all the different social medias, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.